All right, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of our Conscious Women Connect podcast. So, today we have a very interesting special guest, someone that I feel like I have a little bit of things in common with. Um, she's a very entrepreneurial woman with a lot of knowledge about natural health and wellness and a a great vision for advancing health and wellness in the world. Um, she's originally from Ukraine. Is that right? Yes, originally from Ukraine and now based in Montreal. We're going to talk a little bit more about her in a minute. But I will just say that it's such a wonderful thing. And I thank you so much to all the viewers who have watched our first podcast and who are turning into this second podcast, for sharing your interest and your enthusiasm for conscious women connecting and sharing our journey together as women. So it's our journey is individual for everyone. And I feel like we all have something to add. We all have something to share. And all of these ideas can give any of us inspiration for our goals and aims in life. And also create solidarity. So we just know that any experiences that we have in our life, we're not alone. So I feel like it's very important to support women, support each other, empower women, and talk about our achievements and also our struggles. So that's really what this podcast is all about. And thank you so much for everyone watching. And thank you, Tanya, for being here today. So we can start. So, Tanya.
Yes, hello, everyone. And Alexandra, what do you want me to start from? Achievements or struggle? I can do both.
Well, I would really like to hear about your story about how you came from, but you're just very interesting to me because the viewers might not know, but I'm currently in Ukraine right now.
I
But
know.
but I am actually born and raised in Canada and spent quite a bit of time in Montreal, which is how I got in touch with you through through the grapevine, so to speak, through different contacts. But I will say that somehow, like of all the other places in Canada that I've been or lived in, I feel Montreal has quite a lot of similarities to Ukraine somehow.
Okay, so let
Yeah,
me, you
yeah.
want me to start from our common roots, Ukraine and Canada. You see,
Mhm,
when I came to Montreal, I
mhm,
used to live before in Toronto. It's different province of Canada,
mhm.
but mentally completely different. Why? I discover having one child and the second little daughter just born in Toronto, Mississauga.
Mhm.
But my family, my husband moved me to Montreal, and I was wondering, looking around, what is it? What kind of culture? Why it's different there? And funny to say, I discovered, and this is what exactly probably influenced me to go where I am right now, to be in the health and wellness business. What I found actually, I found in Montreal's on the Montreal streets, in the surrounding, there are very many churches. So I think, wow, it's very spiritual in
Mhm.
Ukraine. Yes, as you know, we have as well many churches,
Mhm.
mainly Catholic here in Montreal. So it surprised me, but it was a little surprise. The second, much bigger surprise was to understand how high the ratio of suicide here in Quebec,
Really?
particularly. Yes. And this is what exactly this kind of confusion, this kind of, because for me, you see, churches, they represent spirituality. People are happy, people praying to God, people know how to live, why to live. They have their God behind them, like I have a Buddha picture behind of me right now. So probably they are happy. Plus, in Quebec, when my son came with me here, he was a teenager at that time. Once he told me, Mommy, I don't like so much Quebec. Why? I ask. Because only one thing, two things what people doing here, they play guitar and they drink wine. So this is what the third picture of modern Canada, modern Quebec for me. It was not recently, it's about like 15 years from now, even more when I came, but I do not think things changed very much. You see, you know, the drugs are legal in Canada. When you walk down street, even in Ottawa, in the capital, you see many people begging for money, and not necessary because they cannot, the government cannot help them. Yes, they have shelters, they have everything, but they've chosen to be poor, get money and whatever, drink coffee. It's the best things what they can do. Very often they are under the drug and whatever. So the society is not well. I'm sorry to say that, and probably it's not only in Canada. Just recently, a couple of days ago, you see, I'm a woman, as you said, we are here for Women Connections. I have two children, I have two cats, I love knitting at my spare time. So I was knitted at that evening, a couple evenings actually, and I watched something. It's about, you see, different topics what I watch on the YouTube. And many times the same advertisement coming from government, from politician came. And the topic is, first, one Canadian politician saying, we are broken here. Then American politicians saying, we are broke here. So you see, it's not only me who feels that, it's everywhere, unfortunately. And I understand that because in Veda scriptures, in the culture, Indian culture, what I follow as well, we know that we are living in Kali Yuga time. Kali Yuga, it's iron time when everything is about to be changed. It's about to be broken and reinstalled again. And it's interesting as well, Alexandra, not time right now. Yesterday, it was a night. She was night.
Yes.
I just learned, you see, I am 62 years old, but I still learning about everything. I just learned that Shiva, according to the scripture, is not a destroyer, what he might be. Shiva's Indian god, not the destroyer, but he's a protector for our civilization, exactly for this time. So it's good to know, even we saying the society is broken, even as a woman, we are in the position that sometimes you do not feel yourself a woman. You might feel yourself wherever, but not a woman. But at the same time, you see, it's kind of being planned like this. And this is the first layer of protection, or first layer of being certain, in being comfortable and being like in solitude that, okay, it was planned like this. So it's not because of me, such a huge chaos in the world. It's not because of all the women like we are. It's not because of some nations or because of even some politicians. This is the wave how we developed our consciousness. Because you see, if you want, ask me the next question, I will tell you how to Buddha became Buddha. Was it through the struggle or was it through only the enlightenment?
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. You know, I will say that I definitely know about struggle recently. Of course, we are living through a war here in Ukraine, and when I lived in Montreal in Quebec, I I noticed as well also, you see people there who I feel in Canada, in Montreal, I've seen more people who are, I mean, with the alcohol problem, you know, definitely alcohol. I mean, actually, other parts of Canada, like Vancouver, for example, you can see a lot of people who are very much on drugs, and in Toronto as well. But in Montreal, I did see people, who are very much, into their alcohol, into their cigarettes quite a lot, and living quite like a rough life. And you see it in Ukraine as well, quite a lot. Alcohol is very prevalent. Alcohol is very like available for people to indulge in and basically like ruin their life. So yeah, what you say about your son's remark is quite funny or because it's true. It really is true. The
Mhm.
Montreal people, they love their music, their guitar, and they love their wine. It's a party culture. We have so much of that today, like among young people, especially just this general feeling of like hopelessness, as you mentioned, with the churches are everywhere, but who's in the churches actually?
No one. The statistics
Yeah.
saying the Catholic churches are for sale, for sale. It's empty. They have different activities there, but not spiritual activities. Yeah, there are some statistics about it. So yeah, no question.
Yeah. I feel I saw in Quebec, more than in other parts of Canada, people who are very much into spirituality, like general spirituality, into, the understandings kind of like what we're talking about here. Actually, I have a new, I'll just show you a new deck of uh, like cards,
Mhm.
which is actually done by a Quebecois artist, Mario Duguay.
Mhm.
And he's quite a famous artist in Quebec, I suppose. And these actually just came out recently, 2018, but I believe he has many more. But I did notice, in when I was first in Montreal, how people are so interested in these kind of things. Like I used to visit a spiritualist church in Montreal where they it's actually kind of like a psychic church where they give a little lecture and then they say some kind of prayers and then they do these psychic readings
Mhm.
where I don't know if you've been to any place like that.
Yes, I've been, and I know even in some churches they offer ayahuasca. Ayahuasca, it's a product. It's a
Hmm.
shamanic product, not from Canada, but from different countries.
Hmm.
The product that can create hallucination, and it's in a gray zone. Like
Hmm.
neither it's legal, neither it's illegal. But in this church, particular in Canada, it's legal somehow.
Hmm. Really?
Yeah.
And how are they doing it there? Because my understanding of ayahuasca is that it has to be done in a real ceremony.
Yeah, it's I've never been there. I know a lot about it because many years I consult people as
Hmm.
in naturopaths and masotherapists and naturopaths specifically. I am a metaphysician through my American education. So when people looking for me, they look with the different psychological questions
Hmm.
who I am, where I am, why it's like this, what life is, why I am in struggle, etc. So many people share some experience with me, so I know the stories, but not from the first hand. Me, I've chosen the slower path, going through the pilgrimage, going to India, working with my Chinese teacher, Indian teacher, Tibetan teacher. So it's a different path to consciousness.
Hmm. Very interesting. I do want to say one thing that was very refreshing for me when I came to Ukraine is actually just how interested Ukrainians are in these kind of alternative therapies. Like Ukraine, when I came, it's really the place where I learned the most about Ayurveda, especially because in Canada, what I see, I believe it's quite different from USA to Canada. In Canada, there's not a lot of like availability for training and other things in Ayurveda.
If you want, Alexander, if you want, I'm a professional there, so I can give you like short, brief explanation what's going on with Ayurveda and alternative methods here in Canada, if our listeners interested in that. And of course, as a women, I believe we need to know the alternative medicine, because you understand the pharma it's a big money, and they don't want us to be healthy. They want us to keep as a customers to buy the things, and to be healthy, it's in our hands, it's our responsibility. One of the big life lesson, my karmic lesson I need to learn this life is how to be responsible. And this is what clear for me. Everything what I have in my life, no one else is responsible for that. Neither my husband, neither my children, of course, neither even the government or the politicians. It's me. So how to be responsible. And that's why when we choosing to be alive, first of all, how to protect ourselves and how to have the best life, the most productive, the most joyful life, of course, we need to understand ourselves, and we need to understand how, with what remedies, with what you see tools, I can help myself to be healthy and live in abundance. So that's why when my journey to India started, I was 40 years old at that time. So if you're about 40, feel yourself happy. You are on the right moment to start something new or to start taking care about yourself. It's a good time. If you are younger, okay, congratulations, you have even more time in your life to be happy and healthy. So I started my first travel to India. And through my friends, my Ukrainian friends, when I studied in the university, Kyiv's government university, Shevchenko's names, I studied journalism. I am a master of art in journalism. And I used to work in Ukraine in radio and on radio and TV. And the same I did here in Canada, radio and TV. I am even published a magazine, and in Ukraine, there is a book, Who is Who in New Ukraine. I believe Kuchma or Kravchuk, one of the first leader, was published this book, and I'm there with my magazine, international magazine Rodina. So yeah, but at that time when I started my journey to discover the spirituality, my first trip was to India. And it's there where all started. Specifically Ayurveda. Yes, specifically Ayurveda. Why? If you want, I can find. I will speak, and at the same time I will find the little picture to share. It's from my computer, because I do presentation. I prepare some classes and training, so you can see on this picture me with a different hairstyle, with a different age. Different people around in the central part of my screen. So yeah, my journey started of course, when you're in India, I was traveling to Sai Baba's ashram. Sai Baba, it's a Puttaparthi, central south part of India, near the Bangalore. Sai Baba's ashram. It's multicultural, no specific religion under this. Because in the ashram you can find people from all confessions, all religions. Even his motto was to unite all religions about the slogan, life is love, and the only language is language of love on the earth. Serve all, hurt ever, serve ever. This is the motivation of Osai Baba. Right now, he is not with us on the earth, but I still almost every year or each time when I can, I go to India, to this part and to different part. Last year, I was in Rishikesh. Varanasi was very special because Varanasi, it's a place when dead body puts in the fire. It's kind of funeral, and funeral is made on the streets, in the specific places on the streets near the river Ganges. And I asked my guide, it's my friend from India, Sohanvir Singh. I asked him especially to give me the chance couple times, not once, but couple times go to the river shore and to be connected with Ganges and to see all the ceremony, even from distance. Yeah, from distance we saw it. And actually we visited the place where Buddha became enlightening. Buddha was meditating. It's in Varanasi, this holy place in India. But this is the last year. The many years before, as I said, I was traveling to India. And there I discovered Ayurveda, because when you sit long time in the ashram, it's a big meditation hall. You sit there on the floor, you have your little cubics, 1 by 1 meter maximum, to cross your legs and to sit there, and many people around, up to 8,000 people around simultaneously. So we were seated about 10 hours per day, imagine. Yeah. If some of you visited the Vipassana centers around the world, Vipassana, you know how to meditate in presence with different people about 10 hours or so. So when you sit like this, cross-legged, you need to be quiet. You cannot lie down. No. It's a holy place. When you meditate, you never lying down. You need to keep your spine vertical, because the energy running like this. So there are specific rules for the meditation as well. And I understand that my body, 40 years old, my body, you see, needs some movement, needs some improvements, even though I used to be a yoga teacher already at that time. So Ayurveda massages, this is what I discovered. It's all started from my own treatments, Ayurveda massages. I was having the Abhyanga. Abhyanga is massage, oily massage. Shiro Abhyanga, head massage. Shiro Dara, when the oil pouring on your forehead, like on the screen, you have it in one of the corner up. I learned Shiro Dara, how to do the treatment. And I've learned, I have connection with the Indian doctors, what I am in the picture from the other side. I translated for people coming from Ukraine, from Russia, from Russian and Ukrainian, translated to English and vice versa. When people visited doctors and we were coming to the museums, even to some holy places, I believe my best and my worst translation was when we were in the temple of Dalai Lama in Dharamsala, in the monastery, actually, of Dharamsala. Why the best and worst? Because I was so enthusiastic to translate there, to be there. But at the same time, I was struggling because I understand I lack the terminology. It's a Buddhist terminology, you see. But anyhow, you see, as a journalist, we are smart. We know how to cut the corners. And I was amazed with my experience coming to the monastery, women monastery, men monastery, and being in Dharamsala, being in many holy places in India. And this is where my Ayurveda passion come. And I learned with Indians. I learned with Indians massage therapists, acupuncturists, Indian Ayurvedic doctors. I started invited Ayurvedic doctors to Canada because, yes, it's almost like unknown field. When I first came to this practice and to this like research, making research in Montreal, what people know about Ayurveda. It was a long time ago. You understand what I'm talking. My first visits to India, I found. I really researched it. I really came through yellow pages and bell telephone books, etc. I was researching Ayurveda. Canada, Ayurveda, Montreal. What? 5 professionals in general for the
Right.
Montreal, for the huge city of almost 5 million people. You see, it was the time. So I started to do my Ayurveda treatment as a massage therapist. And I understand that if there is an opportunity to bring something new to your place, to people around, to the society where you are, there is a niche. You see, as a businesswoman, as a business person, we need to see what is not taken yet. Where is the niche? Where is the place for you? So it's through the analysis, of course, mind and logical part of brain, we still have it, we use it, you see, but at the same time, our intuition, definitely. And sitting on the floor in the ashram, as I said, in Sai Baba, I discovered something like strange on me. I have many discoveries, you see. I have many things like I was questioning into myself. It's a different topic for different probably podcasts. But here I discover somehow the idea when I came back from my first visit to India, like, I have an idea to start learning a massage therapy. It was so strange for me because you see, as you understand my background, I was very far from touching people. I was touching mind as a journalist. I was communicator, but not that. So I was like, wow, what it's all about? How I can touch somebody? Oh, it was something. It was something, yeah. But I started even through these emotions. Of course, I was not comfortable first, but it's only on the beginning. You see, when the baby starts walking, it falls down, it makes him create him some pain. So it's the first steps. So we should not be afraid of the first step, and we should not count the results on the first steps. You see, there is a wave to go like in more in better condition finally. So this is how I discovered the niche, and I start treating people because I went through professional training in Montreal. I start treating people the same time I discover the same age, 40 years old. It's funny how it's coming all the same. I discovered Reiki. It's energetical Japanese treatment, Reiki. And I discovered Qi Gong. It's a Chinese energetical style of love, of life. Chinese, it's the art of living, like Ayurveda. You see, it's life. It's a way of living, study, knowledge of living. Qigong, very much in the same condition. So I combine 2 techniques, not even 1, but 2, probably coming from a communist society from Ukraine, immigrated to Canada. I was so much hunger for different knowledges, for I want to see the other part of medal. And this is how all the discovery started and my professional business in wellness started. But let's go back, Alexandra, to people who watching us. Give me some questions, so I will not talk about myself, but I will be the best for the people, for everyone who's watching
Well,
us.
we want to talk about you and we want to talk about what you're doing. And I think it's very interesting because um, what I was saying before is that in Canada, I found that Ayurveda was almost unheard of like many years ago. Now we have this whole expansion of the internet, especially since COVID period, I feel, where we have everything on Amazon, actually. All these products and everything, you can buy them on Amazon. Whereas like even 10 years ago in Canada, all of these kind of Ayurvedic herbal stuff and like that kind of thing, it was like impossible to even get. Like 10 years ago when I wasn't living in Montreal 10 years ago, it was around 8 years ago. But we would have to, because in my community there, we are a little bit aware about Ayurveda. Many of us were visiting India, and we also had connections with the Indian diaspora. to get Ayurvedic medicine, we would ask someone who's in India right now to like, put it in your suitcase and bring it to us.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like I see all of these companies, especially coming from the US, like Banyan Botanicals, Maharishi,
Himalayan.
Himalayan. Like Himalayan now, I see they're a huge brand and they're like sold everywhere in the health food store everywhere. Whereas previously you couldn't find that stuff at all anywhere. So I feel like in Canada, around 8 or 9 years ago, there was like more of an awareness of Chinese medicine, less so with Ayurveda. I feel like that's the Ayurveda, I feel it came really to Canada as a trend, like from the US. Would you agree? Or
Definitely, at the same time when I did my research, as I said, when I found 5 people, I made the research through Canada and US. And yes, in US at that time already I found the institution. I cannot name it. It's a long time, and maybe it changed the name, or maybe it's as well existent. Some study institution like college given the classes in Ayurveda, and I found, I believe, something in British Columbia here in Canada.
Mhm.
Yeah, now, yes, it's much easier. But at the same time, you see, when I prepare my students to be an Ayurveda coach, they need to become the members of the professional association, naturopathic Quebec's. I'm talking about Quebec because each province of Canada is different and their laws are different. So in Quebec, it's a little better for us. It's more supportive for alternative medicine here, because my students become the members of the association and they consult people and they find the product as you sell locally and through the internet, and some of them even create the product for themselves. Not for sale, because we still watched for that. But yes, it's a little easier right now, but still not so well known. From other side, listen what kind of telephone conversation I had maybe 2 weeks ago. There is a telephone ringing. I take it. There is a man, either with Indian or Arabic accent. I speak with Ukrainian, of course. There is a man, yeah, with some accent, asking me directly the question. I am on the schizophrenia diagnostics, watching by doctors. Give me the Ayurveda product, herbs. Tell me the name of Ayurveda product, herbs that I need to take to stop my medication.
Oh.
You see, of course, I said, no, sir, it does not work like this. Because Ayurveda, first of all, need to diagnose. We are 7 types of people who we are. We are 5 elements on the earth, the body created with 5 elements. Combined gives us 7 doshas. Plus, there are sub-doshas, plus there are mental component of gunas over there. So we cannot prescribe just to every person the same product. For example, just different example for women who had the menopause condition, Shatavari is a good product. And as a beginner practitioner, I would think, okay, I should tell Shatavari for every woman who had menstrual troubles, menopause condition, PMS, etc. But no, because the same Shatavari, if there is a little risk of tumor, of cancer, or whatever, of some complications in the breast or gynecological parts, these women cannot take Shatavari. You see, there is different products to take. So it's a medicine. It's a medicine. It's not just, you see, a vitamin A, B, C, D, what many people takes, even without knowing the if they need or not, but it's kind of medicine. So that's why the study is important. And I see right now, as you said, Alexandra, through after COVID, people start taking classes and offer classes remotely, distantly. And many classes, like you pay 40 euros or whatever, and you become a practitioner in Ayurveda. I hope people who create classes They know what to put in the courses. And I know people, I hope people who study, they study well, seriously, not just receive the certificate from your distance learning and start consulting people. It's a huge responsibility. You see, huge responsibility. Helping people, it's even more of the responsibility than help yourself. Remember, I told I need to learn about transpossibility for myself. Yeah, it's not only for me, it's for everyone. So we need to be serious. But of course, Ayurveda, it's a great field. It's something to discover. It's something to learn. And yes, there are some specific generally using oils and creams, for example, sesame oil and ghee butter, clarified butter, and ashwagandha, that's like almost no side effect. Triphala, some products are very well for everyone. For everyone, yeah, no problem, no side effects. But we need to know about it. And if you are serious about it, if you want to learn, okay, in our Shanti Holistic Clinic College, I develop some classes. If you're local from Montreal, go ahead. It's in French. In English, it would be. I will need to translate our courses, but as well, it's possible. But it's possible, yeah, to study, but to be a consultant. Ayurveda is very particular as Chinese medicine. Yes, Alexander, you said you compare Ayurveda with Chinese. Yes, they have similarity, because finally we need to treat the pulse. We need to know how to do pulse reading to understand the condition of this person, who you are right now. What is your prakriti? What is your norm? And what is your vikriti? What is your not norm? Where are you right now? What is your the disequilibrium for this moment? So yeah, this is a knowledge of life, and as life never ending for the knowledges, you see, Ayurveda never ending as well for knowledges, for me too.
Wow. Something I'm interested to hear about from you is especially like your journey with your own business. Creating your own business. You mentioned about niche market, finding your niche and just like going for it. Very smart, very good advice. But I just wonder about the process, because I know in Canada and in US, there are many restrictions for opening your own business. Like Canada, I find it to be, there's so much red tape in Canada, isn't it?
No.
No? Maybe in Quebec there's less. Would you
You
say?
see, here on the streets in Montreal, we have very many young generation of French people coming from France. And I have some French people, my generation, and I ask them, why are you coming from such a beautiful country, warm and cozy, coming to Canada right now? It's a winter time and it's snowing. We have like a meter snow here. So it's not so easy. And they said, less bureaucracy, easier in everything in Canada, comparison with France particularly. So no, and this is actually a good question. It's easy question for me. We planned something with Alexander, but not in details. It's an easy question for me because this is what I teach my students. Students learn not only how to practice, but they learn how to do a marketing, how to open the company, how to do the legal part, the official part, how not to make mistakes, how to stay in the niche what you've chosen. For example, you cannot name yourself a psychologist here, even if you've been a psychologist in your country, because here the norms are different. Dentists, they need to study from the beginning here. They're not like accepted as a dentist from different countries. Yes, in this regard, there are some rules, there are some restrictions, and of course not the best, because healthcare missing the professionals here. There are huge lines in the hospitals, and nurses, they are missed here. People come to work in the United States because it's better paid. So the healthcare, it's really one of the problematic zone. But for us, you see, it's a niche. You are with me, right?
Yeah.
So whenever it's not working well, you can go there. You can bring. It means it's not in the cement. It's soft, the market, and you can come there and you can find your place. So what is important and how it was for me, first of all, and probably it's the worst, the last things what beginners of the business want to hear. I know you do not like it. I know you would answer to me, no, 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 not for that I start my business. Absolutely not for that. What was it? I worked many, many, many hours plus. I worked many, many, many hours for free. Second, it was physically very very fitness kind of job. For example, I was delivering my pamphlets door to door, and not in the big buildings, because I do not live in Montreal. I live in the city 30 kilometers from Montreal, and there are big lots with each house. So I walked. I walked kilometers and kilometers and kilometers, having my bag on my shoulder with my pamphlets. I walked door to door to deliver my flyers. When I say so to my new practitioners, this is, as I said, they are not necessarily ready for that. They think they have the diploma, they show the diploma. Maybe Ukrainians coming to Canada. You see, I understand being like enthusiast and being full of optimism, but I don't understand people that think they just show their face and everyone starts applauds. No, 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 no. The places are taken. The competitions are there. They are established. They are years and years and years, and market is already divided. So you need to be really strong in your belief and really strong in your physical body to start your business. This is my experience. You see, probably somebody just have a big money or take a credit and open the office in the main street of any city, but it's not typical for Canada. Not typical. Even right now, when my Ukrainian students come in and they start, Tanya, where is your business? Okay, my business is the second floor, and it's not the downtown. I don't need a business downtown when I pay huge rent. My mission is different. My mission not to show me, not to love myself in this case, but to love people who have needs. Who are worse than me. And for them, I was ready to walk the distance, to work many hours with the computer, to do the presentations for free, to help them for free. For example, just right now, I have one client, only one example I give, one client. She's in multiple sclerosis, this woman, and she calls me 2-3 times per week. I work distantly with her. I've never been with her, but imagine 3 times per week, about 1 hour conversation. If I charge money, it would be $100 Canadian for 1 hour, but I do it for her for free through the years, you see. And it's only one example. I have many examples like this. So business in wellness, business, if it's your mission, it's different that business just making money. Yes, the word is the same, you see, but for us, it's more mission. It's not the business. And this is the approach. This is the approach. So you start serving who need you. When you declare to the universe, as I say usually, I am ready to help. Just pronounce it mentally in your meditation, in your free time, or just whatever, on the washing dishes you are serious about, and you say, I am ready to start a new path. I am ready to be a universal tool of love, tool of light, tool of happiness. I am ready, universe, I am ready. So when you declare like this, people will come, everything will come automatically, and your job will be not to put it aside. No, it's not for me. It will not bring me money. I need to keep the strategy. I need to follow the courses, how to make money, how to do the right marketing, etc. No, not if you're in the wellness business, not if your business is your mission. It's different. You listen to each conversation, you pick up the phone, you start talking to these people. Yes, and you work for free, hours and hours. And this is how it will come. The wave will come. And of course, you will go to the point of abundance. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. My business is doing well. You see, I can sit and knit, no problem, at this period of my time. And it's interesting to say my best business year was a year of COVID. Probably it's for many people, not only for me. But this is how you see it's unpredictable. Not necessary to take business courses for that. Of course, you need to know how to work with accountant if it's not your field, how to work with marketing if it's not your field, how to engage different specialists if they do it faster than you, better than you, and you still serving people. You see, because this is your mission. If it's your mission, I'm talking from my point of view as a missionary in wellness business. So you need to have this logical part of mind, or you need to find a partner who will do all the logic for you. But health business, it's not about logic. It's about your heart. Starting from your heart and coming back to your heart. Because when we serve people, this is, Alexandra, might be your next question, but I know definitely people always ask me that. When I start serving people, they all come in with the struggles, with the problems. How I will keep my own protection, how I can stay in health and working well through years and years. I am more than 20 years in this business. So as you see, I am alive. Everything is okay. Yeah, and this is another question. What I suggest to my practitioners, for my masotherapists, coaches, naturopaths, how to maintain our own energetical condition. But as well, this is a different topic. I don't know if you want me to talk about, so you have something more interested for our listeners.
It's interesting. Please continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because as I said, you see, people ask me these questions, and when I give classes through Reiki, Qi Gong, massage therapies, sometimes massage therapists, they do not realize it, that dealing with people, no distance, because you see, you touch. Like if you have some hairdressers in our audience who listen to us, or if you touch people differently, maybe you're a nurse, maybe you work in hospitals, you see, each time when we come close to somebody, we exchange the energy. And this is where the empaths come in, empathic empaths. Who are the empaths? They feel people like it's them, it's themselves.
Yeah.
And people are very often afraid of that. But empaths actually my best students. And I say, wow, I congratulate you. You have already this talent, what I need to develop for other students to provide good service. But empaths, they feel if the client come and they crying, the client coming through the door and they cry or they yell or they're stressed or whatever, the empaths start feeling the same emotions. And imagine first visitor, second visitor, like hairdressers. Why I name hairdressers? They very often on the support leaves, on the antidepressant or something like this. Yeah. Even I know some psychologists who's taken antidepressant. Yeah. Yeah, I know. So it's very common. It's very common. This is where we live. This is a Kali Yuga time, as I said. So it's okay. It's okay. Do not worry. It's okay. There is a way down, but if there is a way down, definitely there is a way up. We are black and white. We are in duality. Yeah. So what I suggest my students to be alive through the years of wellness business. We need to take care about ourselves as we take care about the people, and what we suggest to people, we need to do it vice versa. We need to apply to ourselves. For example, the first common suggestion what I give to everyone, depressed people or suicidal people, you need to be outside 2 hours per day. Point. You need to go out. How come? It's raining, it's snowing, it's whatever. I cannot walk. Okay, do you have balcony? Sit on the balcony. You don't have balcony? Open the window and let the sun, the wind, the space, Akasha touch you. Because this is your first cleansing. Whatever you kept from the people, this is your first cleansing. 2 hours ideally per day, at least 1 hour, and ideally when it's sunny. So this is the first. Second, quiet mind. I believe your channel is about, Alexander, how, because consciousness, you see, when your mind is not quiet, you are not consciousness. You live everywhere. You think about what I will cook right now. Maybe you're cooking right now. Okay. Or I need to pick up my son from the kindergarten, or what my husband said yesterday. So we keep in mind many things, but not the silence. And the angels speak to us in silent. So this is what we need to develop, how to calm our mind. Of course, it's a topic by itself, but if I will give 3 suggestions briefly. First of all, okay, the second will be more complicated. First of all, the first one, and the main one, what I usually give to my clients, you need to pick up a word, a prayer, a mantra, that you repeat in your mind non-stop, million times, when you understand that you are out of your balance. Very easy, very easy. Of course, people who meditate, they can chant Om, right? Om, 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 Om. So with this kind of mental activity, you will destroy the other thoughts, what you just have, because you concentrate, you put your energy in this Om. Could be a mantra. Okay, yeah, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare. Or could be Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. This is what the first mantra I learned for myself. And it was funny. After my initiation to Reiki and Qi Gong, the same time, I was driving from Ternopil to Kirovograd to my parents' house, and in a train, the full night, I did not sleep. And the full night on my mind, it was Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Oh, wow. We do not fully understand how the universe works, you see. Yes, so it's better to accept, especially when it's a good thing, and not to be afraid, because many people right now, very superstitious. Wow, with my third eye or something, I saw a phantom, I saw some sign, I've heard the voice. Relax, relax, relax. You need to be relaxed. Our nervous system, like our dreams, create a lot of phenomena, but it's physical phenomena. Do not overplay with the things, because you do not want to be a schizophrenic finally. So stay touching the ground. And this is the second condition. As soon as you feel mentally not challenged or not stable, touch something physically. For example, somebody's making you unstable. Okay, what I will do, I will grab something and I will keep my attention to my hands and what I touch. That's why probably some people do like this, or some people do scratching themselves. You see, they change the activity from mental to physical. Very well. This is helping as well. And the third one, it's the most tough one. You need to watch your thoughts. You need to learn what are your most common questions that makes you unhappy, and you go through some spirituality and knowledges and learning and books, spiritual books, to change your way how you see the circumstances. Simply. And this is how you see you can help yourself to be healthy. Of course, physical activity, yoga, Qi Gong. Every day when I don't have clients very, very early in the morning, I stay 30 minutes in my, it's like this, I stay 30 minutes in my posture, Qi Gong I practice. I need to get more energy for myself. I need to open my third eye. And this is the way how to do it properly without ayahuasca or mushrooms or whatever. My way. I always talking about my way, and to go ahead in whatever you can learn through this lifetime, and whatever you can produce and offer through this time. This is what I can share about it for protection in 2 words.
Right. So this is the advice for the empaths.
For everyone, because you see, we have 50,000 thoughts per day. So imagine every one of us, of course, some down people or mentally disorder, it's different. Statistics are different, but every one of us, normal women, any age, yeah. So it's for everyone. And the thoughts, Indians saying like a monkey. They grab your attention, they start playing with you like monkey will play with banana, etc. And our job is to see this monkey and to say, okay, I'm watching the monkey. I'm not the monkey. In Raja Yoga, we have it. Three dimensions of who we are. But this is, again, some more knowledge. Just briefly, I said.
So briefly, what are the 3 dimensions in Raja Yoga?
Wow, you listened well.
Yeah.
Remember, Alexandra, I told you, let's talk about spirituality. And you you wrote me back, no, let's talk about business. Now fine. We combine. Okay, very well. Yeah, so 3 dimensions, who we are, what life is. For example, right now, I am speaking. So I will give this example, me, who I am right now. And of course, you listening to me, so you can apply it to you. So right now, I am in 3 roles. I am a woman, physical body, who produce speech. It's like physical activity, my first. My second one, I am the words itself, because me who creates the word, the idea or the words. And third one, I am who watches this woman producing this conversation. So 3. I am physical body in such activity. I am activity itself. And I am who is watching woman and activity. So this is actually who we are. It's funny. It's funny. I have some memory from my very young childhood in Ukraine. You see, yoga was prohibited,
Hmm.
meditation was prohibited. Even
Hmm.
the icon my grandma used to have above my bed in my childhood home, and it was prohibited finally. So the grandma need to put it somewhere aside the
Hmm.
icon. Everything was prohibited, just you see communism, Leninism, etc.
Hmm.
But so I was not at all raised as a spiritual person, not at all. You see, I was a very politically oriented child, but somehow I believe this is where reincarnation plays role in our experience through different lives. Now I understand that. But when it happened, I just found myself in the situation like this.
Hmm.
Somehow one day, I imagine myself as a camera, like a security camera installed in your room. And I understand if I am this camera is watching me, Tanya, speaking there.
Hmm.
So this is exactly Raja Yoga was talking about. And
Okay.
later on, when I learned, wow, Raja Yoga, I had my own experience for that. So we are not zero. You see, sometimes people say, I never meditate, I never, I don't know anything about spirituality. I'm just normal person. I'm accountant, or I'm a taxi driver, whatever. But this lifetime, what about your previous lifetimes?
Hmm.
Have you been already in the monastery, in the church? Have you been a nurse? Have you been a medicine man, as I saw myself in one of the lifetime? So do not be scary to step into spirituality and analyze what experience you had before. Maybe you are spiritual already and you do not know about it
Hmm.
because the picture is not complete in your mind.
Hmm.
You see, Sai Baba said the hands are more helping hands are more holy than the words praying.
Hmm.
This is a spirituality for me. If you're
Hmm.
helping people from your
Hmm.
heart, you are
Hmm.
much more spiritual than some big guru
Hmm.
who's just pronouncing it.
Right.
That's it.
It's about the action. We have
Yeah,
to.
it's inner sincerity. It's even to be naive. I like very
Hmm.
much naive people because I said you are very pure.
Hmm.
Yeah, you do not want to use for yourself the word. You want to give. You see it as a nude picture of
Hmm.
how it should be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I know some stories in Vedas about the father and the son um, walking past the um, girls swimming
Ah,
in
I
the
see.
lake.
Okay, I was thinking about this story. Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
know
go
this?
ahead. Yeah,
Yeah, about the name Shukadev Goswami. He,
the man cannot touch a woman, right?
yeah, the man could not touch it. So I believe it was his father was walking and he was walking past the bathing like lake or like, you know, place where the girls were, you know, bathing and they were not wearing clothes. And then when he came past, they said, "Oh, you know, don't look at me." But when his son came, his son was totally pure, like naive. He didn't have those desires at all, and they could understand it. So when he walked by, they didn't feel any worry or shame like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so he
Yeah,
was, yeah.
this is the principle of mirroring.
Hmm.
It's not easy principle to understand, but this is what about you said. Yeah, it's a very good example. Yeah.
Yeah. So can we talk a little bit about Qigong? Because I personally really don't know much about these Chinese energetic therapies and things. I'm more familiar with the Indian system of things. But what is Qigong and what is the meaning? I know Qi means energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what
Mm-hmm.
is Gong?
Gong, gong. It means
Mm,
work, or manifestation of energy. manifestation.
Okay.
Yeah. What a similarity between Qigong and Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, we're saying the world is the world itself and us created from 5 elements. The same, almost the same in Qigong. So Qigong saying 5 elements might be one different than in Ayurveda. It's a space. It's no, in Ayurveda it's space, wind, water, cold and hot, and earth and fire. In Qigong we have fire, we have earth or tree, wooden element, we have metal. So it's almost the same, a little bit different. This is the like to compare briefly Qigong and Ayurveda, almost the same elements. If you go to the marma therapy or acupressure, the principle is the same. As Indian, we're saying there are 72,000 of nadis, rivers, energetical rivers crossing our body. In Qigong, we have Qigong is a traditional part of traditional Chinese medicine. And in traditional Chinese medicine, we're saying there is 12 main meridians coming through the organs, meridians, lines, rivers. And we have 8 additional centers or components or meridians for the energy. In Ayurveda, we have 7 chakras. Much more, but we say in seven chakras in Indian, in yoga, in Indian practice, in the sutras, we have 7. In Qigong, we have as well centers named Dantian or Tanden, depends if it's Chinese or Japanese. I name it Dantian, but only 3. So through the spine, as in yoga, the same, but combining 3 together. So we have lower belly center, heart center, and head center. So the principle not too far. Qigong, it's the father and mother of Tai Chi. Tai Chi probably better known. If you imagine how people practice Tai Chi, you imagine China, you imagine a park, early morning, group of older people practicing some movements, going left, going right, something like this. This is a Tai Chi or this is a Qigong.
Okay.
It's anti-gymnastics. There is nothing to be, it's not yoga. Very often I say to people who are not capable to practice yoga, please find Tai Chi, please find Qigong. This is your practice. Very often people who cannot meditate because too much of wind or too much of fire on the mind. Not everyone can meditate. If it's you, and you, not you, Alexandra, but I'm talking to my listeners. If some cannot meditate because it makes you anxious, it's you see, you cannot sit still for some time. It's completely well. It means you are too windy and you are too hot. Nothing wrong, just your meditation, it's Qigong or Tai Chi. It's slow movements. Your meditation is in movements. And many people started like this, and many people developed their consciousness, feeling the energy. Feeling energy in the body, feeling energy in our hands. And in our school is Jun Yuan Qigong. My master is Xu Mintan from China. He's the creator and founder of the institution, Kundavel Institution. He traveled around the world, giving huge, big presentation conferences in Europe, in different countries as well. Couple thousand people simultaneously in his presence. I am a private student of him. There is such a name like this, and I share the knowledge. I share. He gave me the permission to share the basic knowledge of Qigong. Something I cannot share. It's only for practitioners who went through the full like step by step, not to be too overwhelmed, not to become a schizophrenic or some kind like this. But mainly it's for everyone. It's against aging process. It gives you energy. It balances you, all of the chakras, all of the centers. For me, Qigong, it's a very powerful Chinese shamanic principle of using and manipulating of the energy.
Interesting. So where did you meet this master? What's his name again?
Sui Mintang, or Mintang Xu. He's a Chinese man. He was studying in Russia, studying computer science in Russia. And he came back, he's almost he's younger. He's a bit younger than me. I was going to say almost the same age. Yeah, almost, yeah. He came back after studying in Russia. He came back to China. And since his childhood, through his grandmother and some other woman, he was playing with energy. Playing with energy as a child. He was taught how to play with energy. And he did it. So he's coming back from the university studying, seeing his masters and his masters in China, of course, saying to him, like, forget about your computer science. It's done for you. Go and be the ambassador of Qigong. He came back to Russia. He started giving the conferences. He came to Ukraine, Kyiv, met a great woman, Tamara Martinova. Just last week, she called me. Now she's in USA with her daughter, and she's organizing always the conferences through Zoom and Telegram and WhatsApp. Tamara Martinova. And Mintang loved so much Kyiv, Ukraine. He went many times. The last time I saw him, not the last, but before, when COVID started, it was my last visit to Kyiv in 2022. It was the first level of Qigong, what he gave in Kyiv. And they published together 4 books with a different revision. Now the new book, what Tamara Martinova just mentioned to me, almost translated to French. Good news, people who study in French, they will have a Qigong in French. And then he came to Europe and he came to United States. Once Mintang was here in Montreal. But you see, mainly he's in Europe. He said the audience in Europe much more advanced in seeking the knowledge, spiritual knowledge and technique than here in Canada and USA. This is his opinion. But even no matter what, my last visit with him was in Texas, in Arizona, USA, and this is where I got my level of private student. And after that, 1 year after, I follow him as well for some trainings over there. Yeah, Sui Mintang.
Okay, so you first met him in Kyiv.
Yes. First I met him in Montreal, physically, then in Kyiv, then in USA.
Okay, great. Interesting. So for our listeners and for me, I'm interested to know, what is your setup there in your center, and what is your system that you have, and what is your place like, and what kind of therapies are you doing there?
I love the word setup. You see, women, we love something like design and create and write setup. It reminds me the setup. So what I discover that many times life, I need to choose. Life put me in a place to choose, to have the partners or not to have. To have the employees or not to have. And as I said, where to have my business, in a big established complex or modestly somewhere. I've chosen to have my niche, right? It's a smaller size business. I don't have employees. I've chosen not to have. I invite teachers. First of all, when I started all the programs, I prepared myself. People study with me to be a massage therapist, Ayurveda massage therapy, and therapies, and naturopathy. Naturopathy, we have Qi Gong, we have Tibetan reflexology, what I studied through my Tibetan teachers in India, Tibetan reflexology, and intuitive healing, luminous resonance on the basics of Reiki. So I developed 4 programs, and I was teaching these programs myself. I was pretty busy that time, as you remember when I walked with my bag, but here it was different. I know I need to have at least 4 groups teaching simultaneously. And groups ideal is 4, 6, 10, 12 students, etc. So I was pretty busy. And I was working hard. Students, of course, as you understand, I'm Ukrainian, now I speak English, but mainly I need to teach in French. So learning French on the spot, because once I ask myself a question, either I will go longer way to study professionally French or English, or I go different way to help people. And this is what I'm saying to my immigrants student. You see, choose. Either you go university years and years to study languages, or your mission is to help people. I've chosen the second one, to help people, even though my speaking capacity was very low. Years after, some colleague of mine, we met after some years of gap, and I was speaking French, and he said, "Wow, Tanya, you speak completely differently in French." Okay, you learn through the practice. So I was not questioning myself about knowledges. I was asking myself about practicing. So I developed 4 programs, and I was teaching years and years and years, many groups, many graduates. They put togas, they put graduating hats, like a college. We established here in Quebec as a trade school for adults. Starting 16 years old, and it's recognized by government, Canada, Quebec, by revenue. It's very important. You know, I need to pay taxes. I need to declare. Just now I send to my students about 75 or 80 people. I sent the documents for studying full-time past year. Because you see, this is where you function with the society. So I follow all the rules, but at the same time I was keeping my niche, not to go too big, because I want to have some time for myself, at least as minimum as possible, for my husband, for my children. I have two children, and my daughter was born when I am 37, so she always staying young, and I need to take care about her. Not now she's bigger, but you understand, it's between family, business, always like a normal woman. So I've chosen to stay there. I develop my programs, and there is a moment in my business career when I decide, okay, now some of my students, they are good enough to give classes instead of me. So I encourage them. My students continue my programs. Of course, they do differently. They use my material. Sometimes they invite me, and I present the healing or some like touchy aspects. And finally, the third step was invite different people with different programs. For example, I always felt like we need to create the program like therapeutic dance. Therapeutic dance, either on the basics of yoga or qigong, whatever. And I found the right person. She's a she is a not just a school teacher. She is a director of the high school. This person, but as a hobby, she dances. And she was agreed to give the classes, dance therapy, develop in exclusive program, very, very good program. So starting that, then the polarity came. Polarity, it's the international technique as well. There is a teacher. Then emotional intelligence came with a different teacher, who's my student as well, and my client, but she's very good. So now for Ukrainians, I invited came to Ukrainian massage therapist with the good experience and knowledges. They are all doctors by the first education, and they now give the classes in massage to Ukrainians. So now I am more like real business owner, just watching and coordinating, and I'm changing my office right now, given to come into different place where I will have my little office, and the classes will be placed in different cities. So this is the process. This is a process. We flow with the time. You see, I believe we need to be connected with the intuition. Stay open, whatever life is bringing to us, whatever contacts we have, and react on the spot. This is for me the best idea to be successful in the business.
Great, wonderful advice for any woman who wants to be in business. And I want to say that I see a big theme is be fearless as well. Would you say? I feel you like you're a very courageous person. You have a lot of courage. You haven't let any doubts stop you. I feel like you've had no doubt. Is it that you need to be on this path and you need to help people? Or have you had a struggle with that?
I have doubts. I have doubts, and I have my logical part as well. I use people around me when I need to make a decision. Of course, I can talk to my husband. He's very earthy person. He put me on the right logical positions, and I will listen to my mentor. I have some business mentors. She's as well owner of the PNL NLP school. But it's not about, I will give you one example to understand better how is it and how we can be fearless, as you said. Once in my house, we had a renovation in the basement, and a friend of mine, a friend of my husband, it's a Ukrainian man, he was doing the placing tails or something like this. And by the way, this man who was working on construction, he had a philosophy degree in Ukraine. You see, the world of immigration. It is like this, the world like this today. So we need to accept it. And this is him who say that, what I will just mention right now. I told him, look, his name is Victor. I told him, look, Victor, I know I need to bring client to my house right now because I cannot afford, it was beginning of my practice. I cannot afford to rent somewhere the place. And in the basement, there is an extra entrance. You see, there is a washroom, what he was making, extra washroom. And I said, I need to bring people here to provide the service, you see. But for me, like the ceiling little lower, I'm not sure they are comfortable coming to the basement. So fear, right? Question and fear on my mind. And listen what this guy plays and tells what he said. Tanya, stop thinking about you. Think about people who will come. They need you. Only concentrate on them. Forget that you exist. So you see, this is the idea. And since then, I repeated many times this idea, this story literally, or this idea to my students. When we try to measure ourselves, if I'm good enough, if I know, if I that, this is pure egoism. With minus vibrations talking to us. So we need to stop it completely, like it's not the point of our interest, and start thinking what I want, who needs me, what I can give, and how, and that's it. So it's a matter of concentration. It's a matter of intention, of our power, of our interest. Where is our intention? There is energy. If I put intention, I'm not sure if it's good enough. Should I learn something else, another diploma, another? So I put the energy wasting in thoughts. But if I understand there are people looking for me, their situation, I can help. So my intention will be there. And no matter where, I will serve people. on the backyard, in the forest, in the metro, in the bus, in the washroom, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a little details, because this person who I might miss as a client might go to make a suicide.
Oh.
This is where we are. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we are too much thinking about ourselves, too
Mm-hmm.
much.
Mm-hmm.
And especially right now, many leaders, many teachers,
Mm-hmm.
many guru, unfortunately, teach us how to be self-concentrated and self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's not the right. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right.
Yeah.
Because we are much more powerful when we serve universe.
Mm-hmm.
Universe give us the power, give us the
Mm-hmm.
energy
Mm-hmm.
to be the tool
Mm-hmm.
for them. Imagine you serve 20 people or you serve only one yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Here you've got energy for one, there you've got energy for 20.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how to be successful in life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is the story about my friend who was putting the tiles in the washroom.
It's wonderful advice. It really sounds like it was divinely spoken to you, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I take it like this. Yeah. I took it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Tanya. So we've been on for about an hour and 20 minutes. It's been quite a long session. It's really very interesting what you're doing. And is there anything you'd like to say finally to the viewers at home? Any like advice, final advice? You've given so much advice, but any final advice for women or anybody who is interested in this sphere, and maybe they feel like it's too niche. I'm not going to be successful. I need to do something else. What would your final advice be?
The only one in two words. It's listen to your best part. Do not listen to your worst part. Instead of listening their fears, listen where is your pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And you find your pleasure, your joy, your sweetness in the life,
Mm-hmm.
your best part, and you share it. Here's your success, and here's your happiness.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And one final thing. So how can people connect with you in
You
your
see my
center?
name on the screen, if it's visible, my
Mm-hmm.
YouTube channel, exactly with this name. My Facebook now is different. Once
Mm-hmm.
I lost 10,000 followers because my Facebook was broken. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, life is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it's Tanya Shanti on the Facebook. And
Mm-hmm.
the website, I don't know how we can provide it. It's www Shanti clinic in English.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great. We can put all those links down below. So, Tanya, it was so wonderful to speak with you today. Thank you so much for inspiring me. I really liked your advice, especially the tiles.
Okay.
Your divine tile man advice. What was it again exactly? It was don't think about yourself, think about the people.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Think what is waiting for you. What is waiting for you instead of something else.
Wow. Thank you so much, Tanya. So
my pleasure, Alexandra. I hope the conversation planned for 1 hour. I'm sorry to take 1 hour 20 minutes. Was somehow helpful for people, and if they want to talk to me directly, they go to first talk to you. Right, subscribe or follow, and this is how, if you have some more topics or some more ideas particular to discuss, I'm available. As I said, you see, at this level of my life and my business, I have some spare time, and my knowledges, I hope to share with you and with your listeners.
For sure, it would definitely be interesting to do just podcasts, very specific topics. Talk about only Marma therapy. Talk about only Tai Chi methods, or only, whatever in the future. I would definitely like to have you on again. So
Okay, my
yeah,
pleasure. My pleasure. I am glad I'm not too born.
yeah. So we'll say goodbye to everyone now. So thank you, everyone. Namaste, love and
Shanti.
light, and all the best. Bye bye.